Paalala, ang kwentong inyong mapapakinggan ay R18. May mga lengguwahe at eksenang hindi angkop sa mga 18 below na tagapakinig. Red Room presents Temptation Island, Darkest Desire. Series Book 2, Sweet Surrender. Written by Maki De Luna, Maki Wonder. Copyright 2018 by Redline Media Publishing Inc. Exclusively distributed by Precious Pages. Narrated by the Audiobook Project Team. AJ Caloza as narrator in all other female and kids' voices. Daniel Pelagio as Wyatt. Denim Ladura as Lucian, Quen, Eric, and Adrian. Ed Cepeda as Lucas. Rupert Leonida as Tariq and Lucifer. John Vincent Joson as Tristan. Noel Hualo as Lemuel. Aaron Mercenes as all other male voices. Chapter 2. Her legs and lips both parted. Her dilated eyes remained at the ceiling. The buzzing of her Eva vibrator humming with the almost inaudible rumbling of the aircon were the only sound that could be heard inside her room. Miro played with her hardened tip while biting her lips. She is looking at the dance mirror in front of her bed, the vivid image of herself being totally blown away by lust, while she imaging herself being fucked senseless by a man that had no face. Malapit nang bumigay ang kanyang katawan. Ilang beses niyang pinigilan yon. The vibrator was hands-free, but she removed it whenever she's about to climax. Miro wanted to delay it. She orgasmed better that way. Her abdomen was clenching. Itinigil niya ang paghawak sa sarili para bitinin ang pag-akyat sa nakakalusaw na panginginig. Iniangat niya ang kamay sa headboard. The man fucking her in her mind suddenly had eyes, nose, and lips. Napaawang ang mga labi ni Miro. Hindi niya magawang ibaba ang kamay para alisin ang vibrator sa kanyang kasalanan. She wanted her man faceless, but suddenly, her imagination overruled her. And really, why did it need to choose someone she knew? The dark brooding eyes, the tall and muscular frame. Miro could see it all in her mind. "Ah, Wyatt!" She screamed. Miro couldn't help it. She let herself reach climax, shouting his name. Anyway, the four walls were her only witnesses aside from the artworks inside her room. Hinang-hina siyang napahiga sa kama. She removed the vibrator from her cunt and felt her folds as thick juices covered it. Nanginginig pa rin ang katawan niya. Sa imahinasyon niya ay nandun pa rin si Wyatt. Dinadampian siya ng masuyong halik sa katawan. Miro kept on feeling her folds, and then she used her 2 fingers for another bout. Napakagatlabi siya. She easily slid her fingers inside with the help of her own cum. She continuously played with her clit as her lascivious thoughts gathered again, not around the faceless man, but around Wyatt. Gusto niya itong burahin sa imahinasyon, pero hindi niya magawa. Hindi niya gagawin. Nakakahiyaman ng kanyang iniisip, pero wala namang may alam. Sabi nga niya, hindi dapat gawing legal ang lalaki. Pati siya ay nagkakasala. Muli, sa pag-iisip ng mapanganib na mukha ng lalaki ay naramdaman ni Miro ang matinding pag-iinit. Sa pagkakataong yun, hindi niya pinigilan ang sarili. She shouted his name like it was hers. Iniangat niya ang kanyang kamay pagkatapos. Tanda ng pagsuko. Hinipan ng malamig na hangin ng hubad niyang katawan. Pinakalma siya nito, pero muli na naman niyang naisip ang kalungkutan. She missed her mother. Miro wished she could at least see her achieve the things she had now. Gusto pa sana niyang ipaglaban ito sa cancer. Pero kusang bumitaw ang kanyang ina. Sinabi nitong magiging pabigat lang ito sa pagtupad ng mga pangarap niya. But her dream was to give her a good life. 5 taon pa lang si Miro noon. Pero ganun nakataas ang pangarap niya. Gusto niyang madaliin ang mga araw na hindi na sila mag-uulam ng toyo sa kanin at hindi na nila pagsasabayin ng almusal sa tanghalian. Kung sana ipinagpilitan ng kanyang ina ang karapatan sa ama ni Miro. Saan na kahit inihingi niya lang ito ng regular na allowance para may panggasto sila. Kahit kaunting tulong. Pero hinayaan lang ito ng kanyang ina. Pinanood pa nilang mag-ina ang kasal ng ama niya sa isang babaeng may anak na. Imagine a guy getting married to a woman with a child that was not his, yet neglecting his own flesh and blood. Miro vividly remembered how they watched a beautiful woman in white. All the guests were dressed glamorously, while she and her mother were wearing shabby dusters. Lahat na makakasulubong nila sa loob ng simbahan ay lumalayo na parang meron silang nakakahawang sakit. Umiiyak ang kanyang ina sa pinto ng simbahan. Sa batang edad, naiintindihan ni Miro kung anong ibig sabihin nun. Grief, pain, regret. Sa unang pagkakataon, binitawan ng kanyang ina ang kamay niya para magtakip ng bibig at umiiyak ng tahimik. Pero nakita sila ng mga tauhan ng simbahan at pinaalis bago sinirahan ng pinto. Now Miro understood why they went there, not because her mother wanted to see her father married someone else, but because her mother was dying that time. Gusto siguro siyang ibilin sa sariling ama, pero wala itong boses. Malamang ay natakpan ng pag-iyak. Inabot na siya ng kamatayan ng ina na pangalan lang ng amang alam niya. Architect Lemuel Archibald Tanhuatco. Isa sa pinakasikat sa larangan ng construction at design. Halos lahat ng infrastruktura ng bansa ay nakalista ang pangalan nito. Kahit ang mga pribadong negosyo ay gusto ng serbisyo nito. Hindi na nagtaka si Miro. All his designs were top of the line. He was even called an artisan. His buildings were intricately planned and executed. Masyadong matapang ang ama niya na sumugal sa mga bagay na kakaiba. Maliban siguro sa kanya, he neglected her mother, thus neglecting her as well. Bumangon si Miro sa kama at kinuha ang paintbrushes niya habang naglalagay ng kanta sa speakers. She started dancing a few steps with her favorite music, Requiem by Mozart. Sumayaw ang hubad niyang katawan na parang dahon sa harap ng malawak na salamin. Malungkot ang musika, ganon din ang bawat hakbang ni Miro. Tumulo ang kanyang mga luha, pero nagpatuloy siya. Hinila ni Miro ang blankong canvas at nagsimulang magsaboy ro ng pintura, gamit ang pinakamalaki niyang paintbrush. Ilang sandali pa ay nahulog na si Miro sa pagpinta habang sumasayaw. Parang sinapian ng punong-puno ng passion. Kahit madidilim ang kulay na napili niya ay lumabas pa rin ang ganda niyon. Pawisan siyang tumigil sa kalagitnaan. Pagod siyang umupo sa carpeted na sahig at inilibot ang mga mata sa mga canvas na nasa kwarto niya. Walang kahit isa ron ang natapos. Miro knew how to look at a beautiful art, but she didn't know how to finish one. Wyatt didn't know what he was expecting tonight. Nagpunta siya sa Temptation Island para mag-relax, pero paulit-ulit sa kanyang eksena kung saan nakita niya si Mirabella Yuri Mercado sa isa sa sikat na club sa Makati. He wouldn't forget the name. Her face, rather. Small waist, tender globes, luscious lips, and wondrous eyes. Marami na siyang nakikitang ganung babae. Pero isang palaisipan pa rin ang kagustuhan nitong maging miyembro ng isla. Ganun ba talaga ito ka-wild? Marami na siyang nabalitaan tungkol kay Miro. Some would say that she's a famous personality. Isang sikat na art curator at dancer. She got tons of social media followings too. Beautiful, empowered, and very talented. Pero sa likod niyon ay ang bulok na bersyon ng pagkatao nito. Wild, carefree, dark. Ilang lalaki na ba ang nakilala niya na kung pag-uusapan si Miro ay ganun-ganun na lang. The woman could make a man's groin ache and then she would leave the man afterwards. Marami na itong nabiktima, hindi lang sa kama kundi sa usapang pag-ibig. He could not tie the woman. Sadly, Wyatt wanted her woman tied. Master, are you still there? Namamao sa tanong ng isang sikat na modelo na nakaluhod sa isang bahagi ng kwarto. May piring ang mga mata nito at nakaposa sa mga kamay sa likod. Tanging malamlam na ilaw mula sa lampshade ang naging daan niya para makita ang perpektong hubog ng babae.
What did I tell you?
Lumapit si Wyatt sa kinaroroonan ng babae. Hindi kumibo ang babae at pinag-isang linya ang mga labi. Inihampas niya ang hawak na flogger sa mesa Napaangat ang balikat ng babae dahil sa gulat.
I told you. You cannot handle me, Taylor.
Mapanganib ang boses niya. Wyatt's only satisfaction was the fear from his submissives. Kilala siya sa isla bilang dominant. Taylor asked him to have sex despite his reputation. Hindi niya ito pinilit kaya ang umaktong natatakot ito ay hindi tatalab sa kanya. He showed no mercy in fucking, but he valued safe word. I can. I want you, master, please.
Safe word?
I won't say it.
Good.
Hinawakan ni Wyatt sa magkabilang balikat ang babae. She's wearing a skimpy red underwear. Her nipples were exposed from her bra and her lacy underwear had an access to her slit. Tumayo siya sa harap ng babae at inilagay ang buong palad niya sa pagkababae nito. Wyatt felt her wetness, ready to be fucked.
I'm not allowing you to come, sub.
Sinabi niya iyon habang minamasay ang sensitibong parte ng katawan ng babae. Yes, master. Panay ang singhap ng babae sa sensasyong nararamdaman. Wyatt found his way to her entrance. He massaged it, roughly. Lalong bumilis ang alon ng tiyan ni Taylor. I'm...
If you come, I will punish you.
Hindi pa siya tapos ay bumuhos na ang katas ng babae sa palad ni Wyatt. Dismayado siyang napailing. Sorry, master. Hindi na naituloy pa ng babae ang sasabihin. Hinila niya ito at inihagi sa kama. Ipinosisyon ni Wyatt ang mga binti nito sa pagkakaluhod. He unwrapped the towel using his mouth and wore it on his ready shaft. He positioned himself on Taylor's entrance. A loud screech was heard on the four corners of the room. It was from Taylor, but Wyatt didn't care. He only respected the safe word. Cries, pleadings, and everything else would not be heard. He fucked Taylor in the ass, hard and fast. Fuck! Sunod-sunod na mura ni Taylor sa bawat pag-ulos niya. Umangat ang palad ni Wyatt at hinampas ang pang-upo ng babae. Ouch, master.
Safe word, sub. You can use it.
Paalala niya, pero hinihiling niya na sana ay hindi mumukas ang bibig nito. Patuloy ang paglabas-masok ni Wyatt. Gustong-gusto niyang labasan. He wanted to finish off. He wanted to fuck her beautiful piece of ass until she's wasted. He reached for both of her breasts and massaged it while trusting. Lalong gumaspang ang boses ni Taylor. Maingay itong umungol sa pinaghalong sakit at sarap. That's what he wanted to hear. The beautiful sound of pain and pleasure. Wyatt never knew he would be the type of guy until he encountered heartbreak from a relationship of 8 years. He wanted to get drunk and wasted, but he was offered sex. Mula noon, sex nang naging stress reliever niya. He's no good boy anymore. He could not trust women. Before they could mess with him, Wyatt made sure that he messes with them first. Hanggang dumating sa puntong wala na itong mukhang maihaharap sa kanya. Rafaela replaced him with a good-for-nothing old billionaire. Kung alam niya lang na hahanapin ng dating nobya ang kayamanan sa kanya, sana mas maaga siyang nagseryoso. Simula noon, hindi na siya nakipagrelasyon pa. The only thing that he's faithful with was the sex and the fucking. Taylor screamed when he released his juice in his condom. She orgasmed, and her skin was all red. Her head was buried in the pillow wet with tears. She convulsed few more times before collapsing to bed. Lumapit siya sa babae at inalis ang piring sa mga mata at ang suot nitong posas. May ngiti sa mga labi nito kahit nakapikit. You are a damn legend, Wyatt. Damn legend. It was my first anal and I love it, master. Dumiretso si Wyatt sa shower at itinapat ang katawan sa ilalim ng mainit na tubig. Maraming tumatakbo sa kanyang isip. Isa na roon ng pagpapamahala ang kumpanya. Hindi niya akalaing mahirap ang pumili kung alin ang hahawakan niya. Ilang beses na ba niyang hiniling na meron siyang kapatid? The idea of having a sibling was more welcome than dealing with his problem now. He's 28 years old. and he's looking for a sibling. He's weird. Wyatt knew. But that's the only way. Matapos mag-shower, lumabas muna si Wyatt ng cabin niya. Iniwan niyang mahimbing na natutulog si Taylor. He may have fucked her hard more than he's supposed to. That's why the ideal BDSM should be a long-term agreement with the sub, to make sure that the sub was healthy and capable. However, Wyatt was not capable of anything long-term. Matagal na siyang allergic doon. Sumalubong sa kanya ang mayuming hampas ng alon sa tabing dagat. Pagkabukas pa lang ng pinto, ilang hakbang pa ang ginawa ni Wyatt para makalapit doon at pinagmasdan ang bilog na buwan na sumasalamin sa payapang tubig. One day, he'd build a house somewhere like this. He'd sleep and wake up with a view of serene waters and a peaceful environment. However, that was impossible to do now. Napabuga siya na may brasong tumapik sa kanya. Nang lingunin niya ito, nakita niya si Tarik. Nakangisi ito sa kanya.
You have a call, lover boy.
Sabi nito. Napailing si Wyatt. Hindi niya ipinagbawal ang tawag kahit na ibinigay niya ang kanyang cellphone bilang isa sa pangunahing rule ng isla. Ipinagbili niya lang na ipagbigay alam agad sa kanya kung merong tatawag, partikular ang kanyang ina. Patakbo niyang tinignan ang buhanginan pagkatapos magpasalamat kay Tarik. He was always worried whenever it concerned her mother. Normal na iyon sa kanya.
Mom, what's wrong?
Tanong niya agad sa kabilang linya. Wyatt, your dad wants to set an appointment with you. Kailan ka ba babalik? Napapikit siya at napailing. Hindi nito alam ang membership niya sa Temptation Island. Gusto man niyang ipaliwanag sa kanyang ina. Alam niyang mag-aalala lang ito.
Mom, kaninang umaga lang ako umalis.
Iho, I don't even see you at home anymore. Lagi kang wala. Eksaherado ang boses nito. Hindi maiwasan ni Wyatt ang mapangiti kapag naglalambing ang kanyang ina. Hindi na niya ito magawang tanggihan.
Okay, Mom. I will be back in the afternoon. Tell Dad that I will give him a call as soon as I come back.
Ibinaba na niya ang tawag. Nanatili na lang siya sa coffee shop sa loob ng isla at hinintay na magliwanag para bumalik ng Maynila.